grew up, man, even as a child, and I have to say this on camera because a lot of guys don't talk about this kind of stuff. When I was 9 years old, I was molested by a family member. I was abused as a child. So I grew up as an angry, hurt child.
9 years old.
Yeah, and so I have to talk about that because a lot of men don't talk about being abused. And when I go to the prisons,
man?
Yeah, and so
Wow.
I grew up angry and violent. I never respected men, older men, because I felt like men never respect me.
Was he a family member?
Yeah, it was.
Did your parents ever find out?
My parents found out, but they didn't find out until later in life because as a 9-year-old boy, you're just getting into girls. You're wondering to yourself, did this happen to me? Am I gay now? Or, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So I kept my.
That's pretty real stuff.
Yeah, and when I go to the prisons and I go to juvenile shelters, a lot of the guys, they're still trying to be hard. They're still trying to find themselves. But when I go to the prisons and these guys, you get some guy, I'm sitting down with him and he's like murdered all these people. I'm like, what happened? They always go back to their childhood. Where this happened to me, and I always let people know that hurt people hurt people, and so for me, I have to open my mouth to let people know that it happened to me, but God has delivered me. He can deliver you too. So,
how did you get delivered? Obviously, it happened at 9. You've been in this business for 10 years, so there's something in between. How do you go from that 9-year-old person who was abused to someone who can talk about it, be victorious, and help other people? Well,
I mean, definitely, allowing Christ to come in and take the hate and the bitterness and the hurt out, because I became a hurt person. Hurt people hurt people. But everybody reacts to it differently, to abuse or molestation. Some people become abusers. Some people become drug abusers. Some people become prostitutes. Everybody reacts to it different. Well, I reacted to it very violently because I was just taken advantage of, and my family was taken advantage of, and so I was a protector. I grew up just really, overly protective of my friends, overly protective of my family. So I would hurt you before you got a chance to hurt me.
Were you in gangs? Did you get involved in gangs?
No, well, Florida is not really big in gangs. Florida is really big in drug trafficking and everything.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, everything kind of flows to this.
Yeah, and so it's really about making the money, making the money and making a name for yourself and all that. And so with that mentality, I would do suicidal type stuff, and everybody's like, oh, he don't care, he's like a hard thug and all that. Shootouts, man.
Really?
Yeah. Just some crazy stuff. And
well, I know what you'd go to.
I just roll up on them if I heard that they want. Remember, like I told you that. If I felt like you wanted to hurt me, I had to hurt you first. I had to get you before you got me. And so I would go up in other people's neighborhoods and we would just have it out. We really have it out. But on the inside, I was still that hurt, abused, molested child. And man, I really had nobody to talk to because I had this image to uphold. You know what I'm saying? I was a thug and I had an image to uphold. But at night, man, I would just cry myself to sleep, man, and I was just really hurt. And a lot of my friends were getting killed and stuff. And there was a lady that lived 3 houses down from me. She used to always be telling me, I know what you out here on these streets doing, but God has got a calling on your life. And I'm like, man, this lady crazy. But she kept loving on me. And I can honestly say it was the love of God. It was the love of Christ.
Really?
And